Hello, I'm Patricia McPartland, the Director of Adult and Continuing Education at Upper Cape Tech. Upper Cape Tech is a leading provider of career training in southeastern Massachusetts. We provide training in many different areas, including healthcare, technical, trade, business, many opportunities. We offer nail tech, nurse's aid. So consider us and visit our website at www.uppercapetech.cc. We're conveniently located right over the Bourne Bridge. We have excellent top quality instructors, a beautiful state-of-the-art facility, and we're very affordably priced. So visit us at our website. Today, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to one of our faculty members, John Stofa, who is our instructor for fire alarms. Yes, fire alarms. Have you ever thought about a career in fire alarms? Not everybody has, but that's really a wonderful profession that one might go into, and there's lots of opportunities. John, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Well, tell me about yourself.
Sure. I've been in the fire alarm industry for about 20 years now. I work for a company called Honeywell Fire Systems, and we're a manufacturer of commercial fire alarm systems that you would have in a school, commercial office building, any type of establishment, basically. And I've been, like I said, in the industry for about 20 years and teaching this class for a couple of years now to basically give people the chance to get introduced into the fire alarm industry and see if there's a career for them.
Mm-hmm. How did you get into it? Because like you said, it's not a career that one would normally think about.
Absolutely, and neither did I, and that's kind of an interesting story. My background's in fire science and arson investigation, and when I was coming out of college, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for municipal jobs because of the recession. So I'd gotten involved with a large manufacturer of fire alarms and basically came in at an entry level as an inspector of fire alarm systems. Really didn't have any understanding of the systems or how they worked. And they gave me a lot of on-the-job training and education and a lot of opportunities to move up through the ranks of that company and ended up staying in the industry for 19 years because of it. And something that grows on you, it's something that I truly love. It's an industry that I really care about and deeply appreciate being involved with.
Yeah, I can tell that, and that's wonderful. And that's what I always tell people. Make sure you pick an industry that you really enjoy, a career that you really enjoy, because you put a lot into it. And the more you like it, the better job that you do for the employer, too, and it really works out wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what gets me out of bed in the morning, is the idea that I know what I do and I like doing it. And at the end of the day, it does save people's lives and it saves property, and that's important.
Yeah. You know, that's true. You really are. It's a very important person because it does save lives. It's so incredibly important. And so you can really feel good that you've made a tremendous contribution to society and to all those people. So that's another thing. If you really want a feel-good career, fire alarms, it's terrific.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's terrific. So tell me, what's a typical day like for you?
Well, for myself, it's probably different than what most people would go through. The industry has a lot of different jobs within it, and there's office jobs for people that want to design systems or draw systems, whether it's CAD or by hand. There's management jobs for people that want to be a service manager or a branch manager of a fire alarm operation. But most importantly, it's the people on the street, it's the technicians and the inspectors that go out and take care of the systems. Once a system is initially installed, that's one thing, and then there's about 20 years, which is the average lifespan of a fire alarm system, of service and inspections that are required. So there's a lot of opportunities there for those people that would actually go out and visit customer sites and help the customers, whether it's because of a service call or they just need routine inspection. So again, the typical day could be different for everybody. Some people like to come to an office. Some people don't want to be confined to an office and want to go to a different place every day. And the industry offers both of those. That's
nice. So there's a lot of variety, and also for somebody that can get into the field at an entry level, they can work themselves up to a higher paying job and have variety. Maybe when you're young, you want to be outside in the field meeting a lot of people, but you get tired of that, you want an inside job, and that's available too, to work in the office. So that variety is terrific.
Absolutely, and that's what we see over the course of years, is that a lot of people, maybe in their younger years, start out in the field, but then they eventually decide they want to come into the office, or maybe they don't. Maybe they enjoy having that customer contact and having those long-term relationships with customers, and then decide to stay in the field. Again, there's a lot of opportunity out there, and you don't have to be pigeonholed into one thing or another.
That's terrific. Now, what would the salary range be for somebody like, for example, an inspector? What would they start out with?
Sure. Typically, your inspectors would start out probably in the 25,000, or if not, a little bit higher range. It's an entry-level job. It doesn't require a whole lot of industry experience. Again, most of it is on-the-job training that you'd receive from your employer. So about $25,000 is usually the entry level. But again, once you're in the industry and become licensed or certified on different equipment, then your value starts to go up. And there's a lot of different avenues that you can pursue to increase your value. And we see service technicians that can bring home something in the neighborhood of $50,000 per year in a salary. And there's also, again, sales and management jobs that at some companies could be worth over $100,000. So it's a great opportunity for the person to find a high income if they're willing to sacrifice and put in the long hours and educate themselves and take some of the training that their employers offer.
Yeah, that's right. And that's true just at any field. You can, you have to put the extra effort in if you want the promotions and the higher pay.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's available for people. That's nice.
It really is. There's one thing I could say is, even with the economy that we're experiencing right now, this is an industry that's sort of recession-proof. We all know that construction is way down, and our industry is very much linked to construction starts. And of course, the economy is soft, but fire alarm systems, it's a highly regulated industry. You have to have a fire alarm system in your commercial establishment. You're not able to go to business without one. So even if we don't see the construction really taking off in some of the major trading areas, we still have people that have systems in place, and they need to maintain them. They need to service them. Yeah. So those jobs are still out there. And frankly, for a lot of the different careers in our industry, we have a lack of people. It's a tight industry. Right. People tend to get into the fire alarm industry or fire protection industry and stay there, and we don't have a whole lot of new blood coming in. So that's one of the reasons why I brought the course to Upper Cape, was to help open us up to people, introduce them to the industry, and see if they want to get their feet wet and step further into it.
That's wonderful. We're so happy to have you. So that is the first step. If somebody's out there thinking, well, gee, maybe fire alarm would be a good field, they can take this course. It's not a huge investment. What is it, 6 sessions?
Correct, 6 sessions, 18 hours.
18 hours, not a whole lot of money, and it just gives them enough to see, well, gee, yeah, maybe this is something I might like and I can do. And it also looks great on their resume. They got an entry point. They have you as a mentor and an advisor. Plus, they can put this in on their resume that they've had an introduction to fire alarms.
Absolutely, yeah. and that's certainly important. As in my previous experience, I was hiring people for the industry, and one thing that I found was, whether we were hiring for a sales position or a service position, a lot of the people that came through the door didn't necessarily have fire alarm industry experience. And not that that was a bad thing, but it really takes some time to get them over the curve where they start to recognize some of the different parts and pieces. And I hope to maybe shorten that ramp-up period a little bit with this course, is to give people an idea of what's out there, how the systems work. We take them through the school. The school is a great example because they have a pretty sophisticated commercial fire alarm system. Yeah. And we take them through the school and show them all the different parts and pieces that they in the past they probably just walked by and didn't really pay any attention to.
Didn't even realize it.
But now they start to realize what that thing on the wall or thing on the ceiling is, what it does, and how they can now find an industry or a career that would support that piece of equipment. So it's kind of eye-opening for the first night when we do that exploratory in the school and walk people around and show them, again, right under that roof, what exists, and they can take that out and apply it to other different buildings. So again, the course is designed to really give them an introduction, expose them to the different careers that are out there, whether it is sales or service related in the office or in the field, show them what's out there, give them some basic experience so that when they do get in front of an employer, they could speak with some authority and say, I do have an 18-hour course, I've been exposed to this, I've done some maybe some computer-based training. There's a lot of free resources for training on the internet, so they can start to build this resume, as you said, around the industry and show some authority in it.
And that's important too, to somebody hiring. They say, gee, this person did take it upon themselves to do some training, and they know something about the field, and they know that they're going to that they like it. So because you don't want to bring somebody in that really it's not a good match, and they find out shortly after you hire them that this isn't really for me. So
exactly,
yeah.
it gives them some exposure. And one of the biggest challenges we do have in the industry too is it is a 24-hour operation. When you're in the commercial fire alarm or any type of life safety business, it's a 24-hour operation. You don't know when that call is going to come in. And a lot of times people need to know that when they take on this type of career, it's probably not going to be just 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. There's going to be an opportunity for overtime or on-call hours. And again, that's a great opportunity to also maybe make some extra income.
Yeah, that's true too.
But that's probably one of the biggest challenges I had is letting people know that the business doesn't stop at 5 o'clock. There could be an opportunity where you might be working late nights or weekends to do some of the service work on these systems.
Yeah, because it needs to be, people's lives are depending on it, so they have to, if it's not working properly, they have to get out there immediately.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
true. And there is companies right here in the southeastern Massachusetts that they can be employed.
Sure, there's terrific companies located right here that would possibly employ somebody in the future. And one of the things about the fire alarm industry, the commercial fire alarm industry, is it's very closely linked to the security industry and the sprinkler industry. So we don't necessarily find an employer who just does fire. They might do interior burglar systems, access control, again, fire sprinkler systems, hood systems for commercial kitchens. They're very all closely related and intertwined. So when you enter into the industry, you might find another avenue interests you more, or you might find that your employer has other opportunities for you. So you can get in under the idea of you're a fire alarm person, but then expand yourself and really become kind of a well-rounded person in the whole industry and find other opportunities.
That's wonderful. Now, what kind of person makes a good fire alarm specialist? Is it, or do they need to be good in math, or what kind of prereqs do they need?
As far as the technical roles, I always said, not only do I need somebody that can fix the fire alarm, but they also need to help fix the customer, because when there are problems with a system, and this goes across the board with any industry, you have a customer who's upset and they have a system that's giving them some grief. And it's very good for that technician to be able to not only fix their problem and talk at a high technical level, but also tell the customer everything's going to be okay, we're going to take care of this for you, we're going to get you back in business. So I look for somebody who is probably a little bit extroverted, able to really have a good customer touch and appreciate that. Not everyone wants to be out in front of the customer and have to deal with situations that are maybe a little bit, there's a little bit of friction there because you have an upset customer. So I look for somebody who really excels at that and wants to have that customer touch. They're going to do very well in this industry. It's not just the nuts and bolts of fixing the problem, it's also helping the customer feel better.
That's true, yeah, so good interpersonal skills and
Absolutely.
somebody that, that's
Absolutely,
great.
and again, somebody who has the drive and wants to maybe be behind the windshield, a certain amount of hours, because again, it is a 24-hour operation. All of our customers are not always concentrated in the same area, so sometimes you have some travel times to get to a different customer site. So someone who has that type of ambition and who wants to be in a flexible
the flexibility
industry.
is huge. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
it really is paramount.
Yeah, flexibility. So nice personality, and of course you want somebody that's conscientious and.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is life safety, and we have to make sure we do
yeah.
the best job we can.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it's reliability.
Yep.
Yeah, that's terrific.
Yes.
That's terrific. Any advice you'd give people out there if they think, maybe this is something for me or want to explore?
Sure. Well, again, I think that the course that we offer is a very good primer for a person to get in and see if they like the industry. Talk to people that are out there. Talk to other people that have different systems in place, and ask them about their service provider. Ask them about their technician. If they have a good experience with that person. Learn more about the industry and about the job. We see a lot of people come through the school that are from the technical trades, where maybe they're a carpenter, a framer, or a flooring person or a plumber, and they feel that the fire alarm is a good natural digression for them to get into, or a good place for them to go. Explore it. It's an 18-hour course, and come sit with us. Come see if you like what we're talking about. See if you have an affinity for the industry, and go from there. And one of the things that I do personally is help the person along. After the course is over, I don't like to let the students kind of go off on their, leave them their own devices. I work with them. I help them maybe smith their resume if they need a little help with that. I help point them to different employers that might be looking for people, point them towards organizations where maybe they get some training. I'd like to kind of get my hands around them and really help them gain entry into the industry where maybe they wouldn't have that benefit someplace else.
Isn't that wonderful? That's why so many of the students really like you, and I really appreciate that. It's not just a job for you. You really are there for the student. You're their teacher and mentor, and that's wonderful that you take it the next step to help them work with their resume and to give them some leads and stuff. That's critical. That's
Absolutely,
really
absolutely.
critical.
You have to have a friend in the industry to, and I shouldn't say that to get in. You can get into the industry certainly without a friend, but it certainly helps to have someone who knows the way and can kind of pave the way for you and open doors.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's great. Well, that's certainly well worth the